Now I have the pleasure of introducing Megan Blazer, who is our 4-H agent. Megan is relatively new to our staff. She started July 15th and comes to us from Oregon by way of Wisconsin, and we're pleased to have her on our staff. Megan?
Hello, everyone. As Laurel said, my name is Megan Blazer, and I have the pleasure of introducing our next guest speaker, Vicki Deal. Vicki is employed by Colorado State University in the Center for Advising and Student Achievements as the business manager. Beyond Vicki's outstanding work ethic, she also spends her time volunteering with the 4-H program. Vicki has been a volunteer for 5 years, while her son Jeffrey was in the program for 10 years. She took on additional leadership responsibilities when her son became an officer for our Junior Leadership Club. She has always been supportive of her son in the program, but her additional leadership support to the program over the past few years has resulted in amazing outcomes, and we have appreciated her time and dedication to the program. As Laurel mentioned, I'm very new here, and they threw me in about 3 days prior to pre-fair activities. That was really a big test for me right away. But fortunately enough, we have amazing volunteers in Larimer County, close to 400 individuals. And I've been getting to know a lot of them, and I'm really pleased to have Vicki here speaking today on behalf of 4-H. So would you all please help me welcome Vicki as our next guest speaker.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Laurel, too. I had the pleasure of working with Laurel for 2 of those 10 years. One of the years was more direct than the others. We witnessed a lot of changes through my last 3 years or so of volunteering and being an advisor for the Junior Leader Club. And so Laura was super supportive of all the changes. So thank you. I just wanted to express my gratitude for that. So while I was an advisor for the Junior Leader Club, I got to know a lot of really motivated and enthusiastic 4-H members. The Junior Leader Club is for members who are 13 to 18 years old. So they're taking that next step up, and the Junior Leader Club is a county level club. The members usually start in a local club, and they can start as Clover Buds from 5 to 8, and then as 4-H, full-fledged 4-H members at 9, up to 19. So my son joined 4-H at 9 years old, and he did a wide variety of projects from first aid to rocketry to dog. And as he was getting older and older, he said, "Mom, this club stuff is fun, but what else is there?" And I said, "Oh, let me see." So we checked it out together, and I said, "It looks like there's another level you can go to, the county level." And so he's like, "Great, but what does that mean?" So we went to our first Junior Leader Club meeting, and he was overwhelmed. He was like, "I'm not sure this is for me." So all these other members just enthusiastically welcomed. "Welcome, Jeffrey. We're so glad that you're here. This is so exciting because you're a new member and you can help us with community service. You can help us with dairy bar. You can help us with all of these activities." And they were just so excited to have a new member. He's sitting there going, "Oh my goodness, what am I doing here?" So he sat back and he watched the other members lead the club. And they have a formal leadership team, starting with the president, working on down to senators and alternate senators. So there was lots and lots of opportunities for him to grow in this county club. So I kept encouraging him to go to the next meetings and go to the next meetings. So after a while, he just fell right into it. I think the other thing helped was that he was one of 2 guys in the club. All the others were girls. So that helped. So he began to learn not only by what they modeled true leadership, they modeled true caring. Those are things that the 4-H program really emphasizes just in their pledge. I pledge my head to clear thinking. That is learning skills and learning to to apply skills and plan and be resourceful. I pledge my heart to great loyalty. That's being bold to be nice to someone else who may not have the same life experience as you do. I pledge my hands for greater service, taking skills that you're learning with your hands and making them, using yourself as a resource. And I pledge my health to better living. That is all about life and taking the most out of life and taking that and going forward with it. So these girls were just amazing with how they welcomed Jeffrey into the club. So as he grew older, he became more and more interested in becoming a leader. And so he took on the position of secretary. Secretary, if you've ever taken minutes at a meeting, you know how that is. And for a gentleman to take meetings at minutes, that was a real challenge. And he took that on with great flair, really. He was so funny because he really liked the secretary prior to him, but he kept saying, "Mom, there's just a lot of detail missing." And they said, "Wow, that's really insightful of you to notice that. And how can you make that better?" Going off of the slogan, to make the best better. And the motto, to make the best better. And he said, "I can make that better, Mom." So the next meeting, the very first meeting that he was a full-fledged secretary, he took the minutes and he took them and made them into what was typically 2 paragraphs long into about 2 pages. And then he learned that he has to stand up and read in front of everybody. So, wow, so that was a great experience for him. So let me bring in 2 other characters into this story about my son Jeffrey. They're 2 young 4-H girls who had joined, and they had joined right before the big group of girls were leaving. We had about 7 seniors graduate one year. The membership of the club was only about 14 members. Well, when those ladies had left and graduated, it left the club to about 7 members. 2 of them were these brand new young ladies. They were shy, they were intimidated, but they were compassionate about 4-H. And Jeffrey saw that in them. And so he went up to them, and he had learned to be kind through the heart, to be kind. And he introduced himself to them, and he brought them forward. And he said, "I would really like for you to be part of the team. I really want you to stay," because they were just wondering if they really fit in this whole model. And so they said, wow, thanks for reaching out to us. So that year that the membership went from 14 to 7, Jeffrey became president of the club. And through learning by doing, he led the club. He increased the membership of the club. He went out and did so many more things. And I don't say this because he's my son, but he had so many ideas of how he wanted to make this club better and improve. And so he went out and talked to the foundation, the Larimer County 4-H Foundation, and he went out and set up new ways of increasing the membership within the club. And it just, we grew in numbers. It was about 23 when he was done with his presidency. The 2 young ladies that I wanted to bring forward, they started out being shy, but with Jeffrey's encouragement, one became the vice president of the Junior Leader Club. Then she became a member of a variety of different county teams. She was on the horseball team and other teams. She really stepped up in participation. She also went to 3 of the national conferences that 4-H provides for the 4-H members. So I talked about club to start with, then they go to county, there's a national level as well. And so she went on to represent the Larimer County 4-H clubs at the Citizen Washington Focus, as well as the National 4-H Conference and the National 4-H Congress. And I don't know that she would have done that without being part of this group, to have to have been encouraged by my son, Jeffrey. One of the things that she left us with was, because she graduated and so has my son, one of the things that she left us with was, I am so grateful for the Junior Leader Club because now I have friends. Before I never had friends. And now I can go and meet friends. She's at a college back east now, so away from her family. And I see Facebook postings of her and her friends, and I just think back of her comment to us about that. The other young lady that I wanted to bring forward, she very compassionate with younger members, but very uncomfortable around older members. And when we do the dairy bar every year, it's a major fundraiser for the club, and we run the dairy bar at the county fair. She was magnificent with the younger members. She had them running around doing different things, and it was so organized. And we just thought, wow, that's fantastic. Can you train all the other Junior Leader Club members to help run the dairy bar as efficiently as you can? And she was so proud of that moment. And she came to us later and she said, you know what? You guys helped me realize that I want to be an elementary education teacher. And I said, fantastic. And she said, I don't know that I would have come to that without the Junior Leader Club, without being part of this 4-H organization. Fantastic. So lastly, my son, Jeffrey, he also came out of his shell and became a leader. And he mentioned to me just the other day, he said, you know, I'm so grateful for 4-H because it taught me how to be a leader. It inspired me to do what I naturally do when I'm around people. I want to be a leader. I want to help people. I want to help people grow. I want to help people broaden their perspectives. And I thought, how fantastic is that? It was so great. So 4-H is truly great. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you guys and share my most favorite memories of being an advisor for 4-H. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. You've just heard from a really proud mom, and rightfully so, because Jeffrey really has developed into quite the responsible young leader, and he's going to do some great things in this world.